knuckleheads? How y'all doing today? Hey, Dragon Sweetheart. One of the things that I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to you about something that is not talked about. I hope y'all can hear me right. Let me move this real quick. Let me move this real quick today. All right. I'm going to make me a little microphone stand. Hey, Daniel, how you doing, man? Welcome on in. Like, so one thing that I'm going to discuss tonight is something that's not talked about, but yet is talked about. See, everybody's talking about going green. Everybody wants to buy electric cars. Everybody's looking to buy the electric motorcycles, bikes. Everybody wants their electric whatever. But yet, they don't know how that shit's being made. They don't know the process it's being done. So, since it impacts us all, bikers, non bikers, us all, it impacts us humans as a whole. I felt time that someone says something about this shit. Because, see, it's high tide. Y'all need to learn and make your choice. Whether or not going green, buying these electric vehicles is actually saving the environment or not. See, the government wants you to believe that you are saving the environment, that you're doing your diligence by buying all these electric vehicles. Right. Uh huh. Bullshit. Bullshit. They're blowing so much smoke up your ass, you think it's a windstorm. They got you so blindsided, it's not even funny. See, the reason why I know a lot about this shit for and thousands of others like me for is because we care about the environment. We listen. We look at the impact at what goes on. We look at the mining that goes on, the strip mining that goes on. We look at the loggers that goes on. We make sure that they do what they need to do to make sure they replenish Mother Earth. Mother Earth has enough resources for our needs, not our greed. So with hey Big Easy, how you doing, man? Welcome on in. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe and whatever else. Thumbs down, I don't care. But like I said, you guys really want to know what the process is of making your electric bikes, your electric scooters, your electric cars. You want to know what it costs, your batteries for your mom's vibrators. We'll get into that. Hey, Grizz, how you doing, brother? The family says howdy and they miss you and hope to see you soon. The biggest impact that we got is against our people, humans. And the big companies don't care. They don't care about the little people at all. Chile, Argentina, that area right there. Ah, good. You gotta let me know your address when you get moved over, brother. But like I said, within the last 10, 12 years, the production of lithium ion has tripled. You want your electric cars? Good. You want your electric scooters? Good. You want your electric motorcycles? Sit down, shut up. Pansies. No motorcycle should be ever electric. But I want to delve into this little concept of you're going green. Now, I'm always been one for saving the environment. I've always been one for helping Mother Earth. But I've always been that way since birth. It's always been enveloped inside me. That's always who I've been because that's my family. That's my culture. That's who we are. All right. Now, let's see here real quick. All right.
largest deposit of lithium in the world. And now Chinese and Russian energy companies are getting ready to mine it.
Now let's start this.
Beneath Bolivia's surreal salt flats sits the largest deposit of lithium in the world. And now Chinese and Russian energy companies are getting ready to mine it. The lightweight metal is known as white gold because it's essential for making rechargeable batteries that power things like computers, mobile phones, and electric.
Now y'all can see these ponds, right? Y'all can see all of these little ponds right here. All this white shit right here. All that. That's your lithium for your batteries. That right here is a very huge warehouse. So compare that little warehouse right there to these things right here. And this isn't just not all of what's here.
Cars. Global production has nearly quadrupled over the last decade, but it's still not enough. So battery manufacturers around the world are eyeing up the lithium triangle, the name given to the high-altitude salt flats in Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. This is where over half of the world's known supply of lithium is stored.
Tenemos la mejor salmuera.
Keyword, over half of the lithium production is stored. Now, does that look safe to y'all? Does that look right to y'all by any means? Would y'all want to be there?
Con un alto porcentaje de litio.
The lithium here in Chile is locked away in underground salt water, or brine. Billions of gallons are pumped to the surface every year, where it is left to evaporate and concentrate. Mining companies also use millions of gallons of fresh water, and in one of the driest places on Earth, locals are scared of what that will do to their already.
Now, keyword. Now, let me rewind that for you. So, just in case y'all missed it in the back.
Gallons of fresh water, and in one of the driest and concentrate. Mining companies also use millions of gallons of fresh water, and in one of the driest places on Earth, locals are scared of what that will do to their already scarce water supplies.
Now, y'all get that? Millions of gallons of water. Millions of gallons of fresh water pumped out from an already one of the driest places in the world. Millions of gallons of fresh water where you got people that need that. That need fresh water to live, that need that to survive, that need that for their everyday living, their livestock, their family, their food, their gardens. Now, y'all just heard just a moment ago where it states that the lithium has quadrupled within the last decade.
And they worry they won't get their fair share of the white gold rush unfolding in their own backyard.
Que no nos estén incitando, porque nosotros también sabemos cuándo están levantados.
Mining the lithium triangle looks inevitable in the rush towards an all-electric future. But what is the true cost? Jose Morales has lived near Bolivia's salt flats his entire life. He makes a living growing quinoa and selling wool from his llamas. There is very little rainfall, and a nearby river that used to provide water is all but dried up. So Jose now pumps groundwater from wells.
Now, if anybody knows anything about that area, they have been in a drought since 2010. They have been in a severe drought. So, with all of this lithium crap going on, everybody going green in one of the driest places in the world. Like I said, y'all want your electric cars? Great. At what cost are you willing to keep it? At what cost? At what cost are you willing to have your electric car? At what cost are you willing to have your electric scooter, your electric motorcycle? At what cost? Y'all already see just a little bit of what I just showed you. What y'all think about that? Do you think it's a good thing right now to have an electric vehicle? Y'all think it's a cool? Society is so fucking brain dead, they don't even think for themselves. The government and social media says, oh, you got to do this. And without questioning, just like sheep, you guys go, okay. Social media just told me to go fart in my face. So I'm going to be a contortionist. I'm going to fart in my face because that's the new thing to do without even questioning it. I was always raised to question everything. Something doesn't seem right, you question it. The government's hand in it, you question it. And I know my views ain't going to be very popular, but I don't care. Because I'd rather have you guys know the truth and y'all make up your own mind on your own ground than having something forced down your throat for lies. That ain't who I am. Never have been, never will be. But like I said, I'd rather have you guys know the truth. Make up your own mind on your own self. I want y'all to see the impact that's really going on. Hey, Cedric, how you doing? Long time no see, old friend. Like I said, it's high tide that we stand up and start making our own mind up for ourselves, start thinking for ourselves, start making up our own choices. We're not sheep. We are people, not sheeple. I hear you, brother. You came to mind a few times, and I've been praying for you. But like I said, it's time y'all know the truth. I don't care if I'm a popular person on this. I don't care what y'all think about me. But like I said, at least y'all getting the truth. Because I'd rather be hated for the truth than liked for a lie. That's what you're getting. So back to this little thing here, real quick.
Año tras año sigue bajando el nivel. Antes aquí las familias convivían con el ganado sobre todo. Como había sequía, no había pasto, el agua se ha secado y han preferido migrar por las fuentes de trabajo.
Y'all see that?
In early 2023, the Bolivian government granted a mining license here that would massively scale up lithium extraction. People like Jose are afraid that's just going to make the drought worse.
Estas plantas consumen buena cantidad de agua. ¿Y de dónde va a venir esas aguas?
We'll come back to Bolivia, but for now, neighboring Chile might hold some answers. These are the Atacama Salt Flats, a natural wonder, one of the driest places on Earth, and a vast source of lithium. The bright squares are pools of brine, where the water is left to evaporate and leave behind a mix of salts and minerals. The more yellow the pond, the higher the concentration.
Al principio veíamos color de turquesa, donde tenían poco porcentaje de litio. Acá ya tienen un gran porcentaje de litio, ya sea.
All right. Y'all did catch that, right? Y'all did catch that part, right? The bright yellow, the brighter the yellow, the more
and a vast source of lithium. The bright squares are pools of brine, where the water is left to evaporate and leave behind a mix of salts and minerals. The more yellow the pond, the higher the concentration.
Al principio veíamos
the more the concentration. Now, don't that seem a little fucked up? Now, where does all those chemicals go back to? Where does all that shit go? Now, like I said, it just gets worse. It just gets worse.
color de turquesa, donde tenía un poco porcentaje de litio. Acá ya tiene un gran porcentaje de litio, ya sea
It can take more than 1,000 gallons of brine to produce enough lithium for just one electric car battery.
All right. Now, keyword. Y'all just catch that. If not, I will say it again. I will repeat, rewind.
By the concentration.
Al principio veíamos color de turquesa, donde tenía un poco porcentaje de litio. Acá ya tiene un gran porcentaje de litio, ya sea
It can take more than 1,000 gallons of brine to produce enough lithium for just one electric car battery. Two companies control the right to operate here, American Albemarle and Chilean SQM. In 2021,
All right, now, y'all did catch that, right? Y'all did just catch that where it says that it could take over 1,000 gallons of brine to make just one lithium car battery, electric car battery. That's your Tesla. That's your Toyota. That's your little Honda. Over 1,000 gallons of brine. Let that sink in for a second. And y'all are sitting there going in like sheep. Oh, this is the greatest thing. You're saving the earth. Fuck you, bitches. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your President Biden forcing the green issue. He knows the impact of it. He don't give a fuck whatsoever. The rich, they don't give a fuck whatsoever about the environment. They're making millions of dollars off of you. They're making money off of us. They always have. They always will be until we stand up and we start fighting back. The impact that's going on is far worse than y'all ever realize. Like I said, I'm glad that y'all are standing up, taking the chance to help the environment. But there's better ways than that. I'm giving you guys some educational shit that's going to help you out. That's going to help you make your own decision. That's going to help you make your own choice. Whether you want to stay with your electric vibrators or not. See, the other thing that they don't tell you about those things is that those electric cars, those can explode. Those will explode. Those are bombs. Yeah, I know. We have not been in harmony with nature in forever. And that's the sad part. See, I'd rather live out in the woods. No technology whatsoever. I'm happy as hell there. I could survive off of that. No problem whatsoever. There's no saying. A fool and his money are soon departed. Us poor, we're the fool. We're the jokes. We're the pawns in their chess. But me, I'm sorry, I don't play that way. I don't play with those games. Exactly, Grizz. They are a time bomb. You damage one of those things are going to explode. I've seen it before. I've seen what damage does to semi battery. I've seen the damage done to a car battery, even a cell phone. I've seen a guy lose his leg because a fucking cell phone exploded. Hey, Grim Reaper brother, how you doing, man? Good seeing you. Welcome aboard. I'm discussing some hard shit, brother. I'm talking about going green and the cost of electric vehicles. The impact that it has on us. And it ain't pretty. You know, everybody's so gung ho about buying these electric vibrators. Electric vehicles. But yet, they're not wanting to know the impact. I'm glad that they're wanting to stand up, take initiative on saving the planet. but they're not. They're hurting the planet more. They're hurting Mother Earth more than they are. Give me a bit. Let me finish this real quick and let me do this real quick and
Chile exported almost $1 billion worth of lithium carbonate, and satellite imagery shows just how that has transformed the landscape. It can take around 18 months for the brine to move through the series of ponds. The concentrated lithium brine is then processed into lithium carbonate, which is then taken to another factory near the coast where it is purified into battery-grade lithium. The two companies suck out enough brine to fill an Olympic swimming pool every 20 minutes. They also draw 32 gallons per second of fresh water from underground aquifers for use in the processing factories.
Now y'all just caught that, right?
It can take around 18 months for the brine to move through the series of ponds. The concentrated lithium brine is then processed into lithium carbonate, which is then taken to another factory near the coast where it is purified into battery-grade lithium. The two companies suck out enough brine to fill an Olympic swimming pool every 20 minutes.
They suck out enough brine to fill a couple Olympic-sized swimming pools every 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes. Don't you think that's a little fucked up there? And the amount of fresh water that they're spewing out?
They also draw 32 gallons per second of fresh water from underground aquifers for use in the processing factories. That would fill an Olympic-sized pool in roughly 5 hours.
Now, remember, this is in the driest country in the world. They're drying out that much fresh water for their grind, for their lithium to sit there and use for your electric vehicles. Your little scooters, your little mopeds, your little fucking Segways or whatever the fuck those things are called. Electric motorcycles. Your mama's vibrators. And y'all really want all of this shit? I'm hoping that by me doing this, by me showing y'all this, that y'all are getting your mindset that y'all are going to sit back, watch this, and sort of get some sort of mind clearer to think for yourselves whether you're doing the right thing or not, and to start doing your homework. Because believe it or not, by you bitches buying all these electric cars, motorcycles, all this other shit, Doing far more worse damage than driving a gas vehicle. Way far worse. The impact on Mother Earth is great. The impact on humanity alone is far great as well. Like I said, you guys want to buy your electric vehicles? Great. But now, y'all are seeing the truth. Y'all are actually seeing what it takes to make your batteries. 1,000 gallons of brine just to make one of your electric vehicles. I'll let that sink in for a second. 1,000 gallons. If you don't do good at math, get your Chinese friend over there to do it for you. Or a Japanese friend over there to do it for you. 1,000 gallons is a lot of fucking shit. Oh yeah, yeah. And see, that's what I'm discussing tonight. I'm showing some of the processes of making the electric vehicles. You know, what it takes to bring up the lithium batteries for the electric cars. You know, like I said, just one electric vehicle, 1,000 gallons of brine. That's an awful lot of impact just for one car. Just one small compact car that you can sit in the trunk of a full-size pickup. Hey, Tito, brother, how you doing, man? Sausage is good, butter, regular, don't matter to me. Sausage is good. Bacon is good. It's all good to me. But like I said, the impact that we make on Mother Earth is hard. Hard. She's crying. You want to know why our weather is so screwed up for? It's not because the fuel.
It's no surprise that water usage is such a sensitive issue in one of the driest regions on Earth. Central Chile has experienced a mega drought since 2010, the region's longest on record. Brine is far denser than freshwater, and the two rarely mix, but regulators worry that pumping so much brine too fast will increase the risk of freshwater contamination. And lithium isn't the only thirsty industry here. Since the 1980s, copper mines have been responsible for around half of the region's freshwater use. The Chilean government blamed the copper and lithium industries for a 25-centimeter drop in the height of the water table. The copper mines plan to switch to desalinated water by 2030.
See? The impact that the mining has and I mentioned this earlier. Remember, rewind a little bit. I had stated mining is another issue that we've been watching for decades. Mining, the forestry industry, the automotive industry. Indigenous has always paid close attention to all of this shit. Those that are friends with nature, that really do care for the environment, we pay attention to all impacts of life because life matters. And without water, there is no life. They just stated a few moments ago that they're worried pumping too much brine out is going to impact the fresh water. They've already been discussing that already. They've already had issues with fresh water being contaminated. So again, wake up, do your homework, question whether or not you're doing the right thing or not. Take the time to get one of us smart folk that do question everything, that are smart, that are not a sheep, to guide you your hand, to help you wake up. Because like I said, I want you guys to wake up, to question this, to make sure that you guys are actually doing what you guys are really wholeheartedly going for. Because this impacts us all. Every one of us on this planet is affected by this shit. I will here in a second. As I want to get a little bit more into this real quick and
Faith in the mining industry a long time ago.
all right, where to go.
In the 1990s, the Chilean government agreed to hand ancestral lands back to indigenous communities, including the Atacama lithium mines. Some land was transferred, but crucially not the mines. Neither of the two lithium companies in Chile consulted with locals before starting their operations. At the time, they didn't need to. But in 2008, Chile's government agreed to involve indigenous people in any decision that could affect them directly. Still, it would take another 8 years for one of the companies, Albemarle, to begin giving over 3.5% of its profits. That same year, SQM was sued for extracting more brine than allowed. SQM recently committed to reduce brine and freshwater use and monitor their environmental impacts. Jorge feels there has never been real transparency.
No es un relacionamiento comunitario real.
Now, remember, SQM is a Chilean deal.
Years for one of the companies, Albemarle, to begin giving over 3.5% of its profit.
And Albemarle is an American company. Now, that is 3.5% of the revenue. $3.5% of the revenue. You know what that's like? That's like getting 5 cents out of a $10 bill. That's all you're getting. That right there is a slap in the face. This, oops, shit.
2008, Chile's government agreed to involve indigenous people in any decision that Albemarle to begin giving over 3.5%.
This right here, 3.5% is a slap in the face
of its profits. That same year, SQM was sued for extracting more brine than allowed.
SQM, if y'all remember, in the beginning, SQM was discussed about going to the Chile company. That is their own local company that's doing that. I hear that straight. But to me, that don't make sense. SQM is a local government company.
SQM recently committed to reduce brine and freshwater use and monitor their environmental impacts. Jorge feels there has never been real transparency.
No es un relacionamiento comunitario real en donde tengamos a alguien de la minería, normalmente para poder decir nuestros pesares, incluso nuestras quejas hacia la minera.
And his community's concerns almost always come back to water.
Tenemos una relación muy significativa con el agua. Eso es lamentable que exista en esta área tanta explotación, siendo que para nosotros esta sería un área de confluencia y de tranquilidad.
But demand for lithium shows no signs of slowing down. It is the ideal metal for batteries because it is extremely light and stores energy very efficiently compared to traditional batteries. It would take around 4 lead-acid car batteries to get the same amount of energy as one lithium battery of the same size. This makes them perfect for maximizing power without adding much weight or taking up too much space. A booming electric vehicle industry has roughly tripled lithium prices in the last 3 years, while companies scramble to ramp up production. So now all eyes are on Bolivia and its wealth of white gold. At more than 4,000 square miles, the Uyuni Salt Flat is over double the size of the Grand Canyon and clearly visible from space. More than 90,000 visitors come from all over the world each year to photograph the shimmering sea of salt. Antonio Cabrera moved here back in 2009. That was when Bolivia.
Now, y'all did just catch that, right? Y'all did just catch that. Four normal car batteries. Four normal car batteries, which are roughly about that by that. Takes 4 of those to make one of your lithium batteries for your electric car. Because your electric cars, the prices have gone sky high. Oh, yes, yes. And I am forgetful. Hey, Graham. Check your IM. Like I said, I'm a little bit forgetful, but when I remember, I'm still not fully functional memory wise. So do bear with me if I do forget. I'm still not 100%. I don't know if I'll ever be 100% with my memory, but I do go with it at times.
Hello, Ghost.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, mate. Thanks for remembering. Listen, I understand, right? For starters, you've got the damage caused through mining, right? And the amount of water which is produced, etc., which is basically going down the plug hole, right? It's not as if they're capturing that and making it and purifying it so that people can drink it or use it.
Mhm.
And if they were, then it might sort of make a little bit more sense. However, let's say for argument's sake, I mean, I know somebody's got an electric car, right? But let's say for argument's sake, they ban all petrol cars, diesel cars in Great Britain, which is what they're trying to do by 2030, I think it is. And they will only be allowed to buy electric vehicles.
Mhm.
Now, over in the States, you have buildings of apartments. We have the same sort of thing, but we call them high-rise flats. Okay.
Yeah.
And on each floor, there's at least 5, maybe 6 flats, potentially. Right.
Mhm.
And if you've got 13 stories, well, you do the maths. I'm no good at it. But where are all these people? Let's say they all drive. Where are all these people going to plug in their electric vehicle to charge? Right. So there is a plan to increase the number of charging points in and around housing estates. And one of the plans which has been put forward in lampposts that light our street have a charging point put on them. So you're going to get a vehicle parked up outside a lamppost with a cable going to it. Now the cost involved in doing the conversions is astronomical, right? Because it's not cheap to put a unit in. Also, it's got to be of at least 100 watt, which means they're going to have to change the whole grid that supplies these lampposts. So
Yep.
the question is it worth it?
Mhm.
The cost of actually running this so-called green car, right, to lower emissions into the ozone, because that's what it's all about. It's to try and rebuild the ozone layer, which has been allegedly destroyed over the years, right? And has caused, well, I think they changed the name, but climate change. I think they changed the name to something else now.
Yep.
How many years will it take to repair the damage, considering we still got fossil fuel powered electricity producers using to produce? They're not exactly, the turbines and everything else has got to be run by something. What's it going to be run by? Electricity? No.
Mhm.
So, yeah, from my perspective, I understand where you're coming from. I agree with what you're saying, but when you start to explore the running costs after you've got your little vehicle, right, or big vehicle, because it depends on the size of the battery. Don't forget how heavy they are. They're not exactly light.
Yeah.
And
I
they're only
know they're not
guaranteed.
light. I had to pick one up.
Yeah, they're only guaranteed for about 3 years or so many miles. Then you've got to replace them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as if it's just one battery. And the downside is, if you own one of these vehicles, rather than leasing them, you have to pay out thousands of dollars and pounds to get that battery replaced. And it costs roughly under the value of the car when you bought it. So if a battery needs to be changed every 3 years, you might as well just change your sodding car,
Yeah.
and start afresh. We are not only as a country with trying to reduce carbon emissions from people traveling from A to B. What they're doing is looking at limiting where you can travel and
Yeah.
how far you can travel. They call it 15-minute cities, right?
Mhm.
And if you haven't got just cause or reasonable excuse, where have I heard that before? To go outside of the boundaries, such as going to work, etc., then you will end up being fined.
Yeah.
And it's a money-making scheme.
Oh yeah, it is. And in the beginning, I sat there and I stated that the government don't care about us whatsoever. They're just out for our money. They don't care
Yeah.
about the environment as they say they are, because they know the impact they're making because they're in on it. They're in on their processes. They're making money hand over fist.
Agreed.
They don't care as long as we're giving them what they desire, and a buddy of mine worked for Tesla, the corporation, not the dealerships, anything like that. He sat there and he worked there for a year, getting all the apprenticeship, all this other shit. And once he got his credibility in, he had to sit there and spend over 15 grand to get his house suited for the charging system and his house all geared up just so that way he could charge his car up.
Yeah. How stupid is it?
Yeah. And his bill went from $100 a month, 150 a month, something like that, to almost 600 a month.
Yeah, but they say that you can that once you've charged your battery, you can anywhere within 200 miles or maybe a bit longer before it needs charging again.
Mm-hmm.
So let me work this out for a second. We know that the car is supposed to only cost 2 or 3 cents per day, right? I think that's what the argument for is against the cost of fuel prices, right? But the amount of electricity which is produced to charge the vehicle is greater than it was before, as demonstrated in what you just stated, right?
Well,
So how can it be cheaper? Not only that, you have to get back to or you have to get to a location where you can charge your vehicle before it goes. Otherwise, you're stranded.
yeah. And if you're out in the middle of the desert, like
Fucking
if you're
finding
going
a
through
charge.
Nevada, if you're going through a lot of that area through there, you're fucked.
You need to only go near and around cities or towns.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to get stranded. Simple as that. It's to me, it's just simple logic. Don't bother.
Yeah.
But the idea I would have said is to keep us in control.
Oh, hey, Devo. How you doing, brother?
Yo, Devo.
Up here, those charging posts, I mean, they used to be out here like white on rice. I mean, you didn't go anywhere without seeing them. The only places that you see them now are more like at Goodwill.
Well, over here, we have charging ports in a lot of the supermarkets Workplaces are being told that they need to provide charging ports. Where I work, they were looking at it and how much it cost,
Mm.
and the cost to put this together was far greater than any. The investment was too great for what it was to get people into work.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest way of putting it. So, you know, if these big businesses don't want to provide it, again, you're going to, the impact on the workforce is far greater than they think. You know, but I will say this, right? I will never have an electric car, fully electric car. I'm now faced in November, I think it is, when my current car lease comes up for renewal. I will have to get a hybrid because it's very difficult to get hold of a petrol or diesel car. But the waiting list to get a vehicle is now gone up from a few months to anywhere up to 12 months, depending on the vehicle, because there aren't enough batteries. They don't produce enough vehicles with this technology to deliver. You know, I mean, I can't have an electric car because I live in a flat with a shared input of electricity suppliers. Although we have different suppliers, you've got one cable coming in, and you can't convert it. So I'll never have a charging point, even if technically I could. So I'm staying away.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever get put into a situation where I have to get an electric vehicle, I'll give up driving. It's a bad thing. By the way, I do like your avatar.
Down here, those charging posts are like targets. I've seen people sit there and run them over.
Yeah.
They sit there and they will grab their trucks and tie chains to them and just rip them clean out. I've seen semis run them over. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I just think that with this is all part and parcel of the bigger picture and how we are being controlled, because we will be told over here for definite, you can't have a fossil fuel vehicle, you have to have an electric vehicle. Now,
Oh, yeah.
the government make a fortune on the taxation of fossil fuel, right?
Hey, Dragon, sweetheart.
But,
Hello, loves.
hello, Dragon. How are you doing?
Hello, Reaper.
But they're going to lose out on all that tax on tax. You know, the fuel tax. It doesn't make any sense to me why we're heading in this direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and see, that's the other thing that people don't realize, again, is the taxes. They get taxed the moment any machine is moved.
Yep.
Any person moves on that ground, we get taxed for it. When 1 ounce of breath gets touched to that, we get taxed for it. I mean,
Yep.
there is nothing that we are not being taxed for.
Tax
And it's
is on taxes.
ridiculous.
Well, we pay tax on everything, more or less.
In most
The
states,
cost of living will go up as well, even higher than it is now.
Here in the U.S., it's illegal to catch rainwater.
I Dragon, what's your take?
You cannot go.
Well, I think all of this is. I don't think any of this is right. I really don't. Force people to get electric cars. Yeah, fuck that shit. No, no, I don't agree with it. I've got 2 sons that have diesel pickup trucks. My one son's father's got a diesel pickup truck. Plus, he also drives a semi truck. They've lost their
Diesel's a
ever
lot
loving
more-
minds.
Diesel is a lot more cleaner for the environment than most you realize. Hey, Charlie, how you doing, brother?
Hello, Charlie. I would say that diesel is it's cleaner than petrol. However, you do have to keep the engine serviced. Otherwise, you end up with higher emissions.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't agree with any of this. I really don't.
You don't say.
I mean, diesel's better than having to do this electric car bullshit.
Well, you say your son's one of your sons drives a semi, yeah?
No, my son's father, my youngest boy's father,
Right.
he
okay,
drives a semi truck.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah,
can
and
you-
he's got a diesel pickup truck. So do
Right.
both my sons.
Right. So let's take a semi truck, right, that is delivering goods.
Yep.
At the moment, you've got plenty of outlets where that vehicle can fill up and carry on delivering, right? Especially on long trips. What you're going to end up with is trailer parks full of all these back end, what they're delivering, right? Being parked up so the electric vehicle, can then go and charge, which will take 24 hours. Not make sense.
Yeah, see, I just think all of this is bullshit. I really do.
I think it's a way of controlling us. But getting back to what Ghost was saying, the impact on the planet, and I'm not one of these people who spout green policies, etc. Right? I believe that we own the planet, therefore we should look after the planet, but the whole planet, not just like the ozone layer, etc. Right? If we're damaging the planet through mining, right? Who knows what the drilling, the mining is actually doing underground to extract all this. Many years ago within Great Britain, because it costs too much and there was a lot of damage caused as a result of burning this fossil fuel. And they moved to either gas or liquid, diesel, petrol, whichever, right? To create the turbine, which created the electricity, right? Now we're moving back to fossil fuel, coal, but because we don't mine it, we're importing it from countries who do. Again, economically, it does not make any sense. But the damage caused underneath the ground, because they will need to go deeper and deeper. I'm not saying they're going to get through to the center of the earth or anything like that. But what I am saying is that we could end up with loads of mines, and you know what happens with a building when some of the struts are weakened, it falls down we could end up with the Earth imploding in certain areas, and you've got massive craters just through mining. And the amount of oil you need to use, they don't save it afterwards. They don't refine it, purify it, and give it to transport it to areas where it's needed. Does not make any sense. None of it. Green policies, well, they don't exist, in my opinion. It's all bullshit. Is there anybody out there? Okay, fair enough. What's going on? Too tall. How are you doing? I can't give you the link. You have to ask nicely for Ghosts to send it out. The problem is these days we've got to be so security conscious, and also we have to be careful what we say. It's one of those things, unfortunately. I believe Ghost will be right back. He's got to do something, get a drink, etc. Dragon's muted up, which just leaves me. But yeah, I would say that Ghost has picked a very emotive subject.
Right?
You're laughing there in the background, aren't you?
Okay, I'm back.
Oh my God. Really, Grim?
Sussed you, got you. Hello, Ghost. Nice to hear you again.
Now, one thing that I just mentioned a moment ago was that they're making electric semis. Now, if anybody knows about batteries on semis, just one of those batteries is 3 normal car batteries. And it takes anywhere from 4 of those to run just one semi. Now, imagine that being put into an electric vehicle or made into an electric semi. The impact that those make alone to power all of those electronics, all of that shit that they need to be put into it, just the semis alone is going to have a huger impact on us. And it's I already said in the beginning of the live that I may not be the favored person, because of the subject I'm discussing, but it needs to be said. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be said. And I'd rather be hated for the truth than liked for a lie. And I'd rather bring the truth out, let people come to their own conclusion, let them sit there and make up their own mind whether they're doing the right thing or not.
Right. I agree.
And I want them to see the real impact of what they're doing. And it's not as what the government or social media claims it to be. Because mining has always been a serious issue for our planet.
Yep.
It's been one of the most devastating things there is, because they take more than they give back.
Right.
You know, like I said earlier, just little bit ago, they were sitting there talking about the copper mining there in Argentina.
All
Over
mining.
half of the fresh water use is just from that company alone. In one of the driest countries on earth.
What do they do? Import the water? Dig down low enough to get water out of the earth and pump it up. Too tall. I used going on about buttered sausages. Okay, fair enough. I'll ignore that one, but you do ask a question, which is on topic, which is, did you know that the conversation about battery tanks and the military using jeeps? Well, if they're going to be using it in semi trucks and they're going to be using it in cars, that's the next thing. Yeah, everything will become electric,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and we're going to be so dependent on it, which means that the electric companies make the money, and that's what it's all about. Follow the money trail, folks, and do your own research.
Yep. And that's one thing I've always been told by my grandma. If you want to know anything going on in this world, first you follow the money, because that will tell you the truth. People will tell you truth, people will tell you lies, but follow the money, that will always tell you the truth. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that got me when all this electric shit started coming up, and everybody's sitting there going, "Oh yeah, you got to buy this electric car," and it was like overnight, everybody wanted to buy these electric vibrators. I mean, cars. They were sitting there going, "Oh yeah, this is so good. We're helping the environment." Da, 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 da. And it's like, no, you're not. It's like, I started following the money. I've been following the government for well over 40 years. I've been at their heel. They know who I am. And every time I walk into my office, they get nervous, because I'm not one of those, "Oh, hi, oh, golly gee, I'm here to, sit at the corner and crying around the room." No, I'm here to make you bitches nervous.
Very true. Yes. Yes.
you know, and I demand answers from them. And if I don't get it, I take it to the next level. I'm not afraid to sit there and go toe to toe with them. What they're going to do? Take away my birthday? Oh, no, not that. Anything but that. But like I said, if you ever want to know anything what the government's doing, follow the money. They lie to us on a daily basis. We are just pawns in their shit. I'm going to do a live. I've already been talking to a few buddies of mine offset about history of the laws, the government, the sets. What's good for us is not good for them. Or I should say, what's good for them is not good for us.
Yeah, I think you may have a slight issue with that if you're putting it on YouTube. I'd check terms and conditions just to make sure that you don't get hit with a misinformation strike, shall we say?
Well, I may do that on Rumble.
Yeah, I'm just warning you. That's all, mate.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about being struck again. I've already had strikes against me before, so
Yeah, I'd hate to enforce it and take your channel away. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I would-
I've already lost one channel. This is my second, so.
I would, as I say,
But
yeah.
no, I'm really going to do my homework on this one, because again, I want people to know the truth. I want people to sit there and see what's really going behind the scenes and things that people forgot. And a lot of reason why people are trying to erase history for, because it's trying to repeat itself.
Well, that's sort of like the Mandela effect, isn't it? Certain information has been changed over the years and altered, allegedly. So what you read about, say, 10 years ago, for argument's sake, and you read the same thing now, it's slightly different. It's not necessarily exactly the same. It's been twisted in favor of whatever the narrative is these days. At the moment, we're talking about conservation, green policies, etc. Every government's got one. Why? Because they've been told they've got to have one.
Yep.
But follow the money trail, find out who is actually directing governments to do this. And you'll probably find that it's, places like the World Economic Forum that have turned around and said to governments, you need to have this. You need to go out and mine. You need to support the companies. You need to do this. You need to do that. Change your policy. Get rid of fossil fuel cars. Make sure that you're only selling electric, which costs 4 times as much as buying a diesel car. See where the money's going.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we need to start looking into things, because it all impacts us in a great way, and to get rid of the electric car, or excuse me, to buy just electric vehicles is ridiculous, because the amount of grids that we need to change, it'll take us a good 100+ years to do that. And there's more people that don't have that. California, there's days where they cannot charge their vehicles. They have those what they call rolling outages, so that way they could preserve the electricity.
Does it not? Hang on a second, isn't that an oxymoron?
Uh-huh.
If you think about it.
Exactly.
I mean, if there isn't enough power generated to service these electric vehicles, you've got to have an alternative. Otherwise, you don't get your food because it's not delivered. You can't travel from A to B. Again, restrictions. Nah, I know what you can do with your electric cars, but not you personally, obviously, but the government. I think we should wrap them up, shine them up, so they're nice and shiny, and stick them right up the government's a-hole.
Mhm.
And I think Dragon would agree with that as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with you. I do. I just think it's all messed up, honestly, seriously, for real. What is wrong with people? I just
People have turned to sheep.
yeah. Yeah. And I've heard that terminology somewhere else, and I've heard other people say that. I just don't remember where, but I've heard people say it. So
Conservation
I don't
has
know.
gone. Yeah. Conservation is now a PC, politically correct terminology, according to the governments of the
Yeah.
world. And
Right.
you know what they say? You have to change the way that you speak, the way that you support. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. That's not what I'm about. And when they've even had to change the rules slightly because they are so quiet, right? People who are deaf don't necessarily, they can just walk out in front of them, right? People who are blind can't see them, but they need to be able to hear. So now what they do is they put an imitation engine noise on them so that they can be heard. What's the point? The idea is that they run silently.
Well,
Just ban them. That's what I would say. All right, then. I'm going to say this to Saul. Can you imagine you are trying to get your butter sausage, delivered to your local store so you can go out and buy them because you can't get hold of any butter to make your own, right? If it's all on electric vehicles, delays and the costs will be inflated to such a state that you will have to look at an alternative to butter sausage. And that's all I'm going to say on butter sausages.
mm-hmm.
Right, dude? Mm-hmm.
I had to look it up to see what it was because I've never heard of it.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's not something which, I thought battered sausage at first, but not a butter sausage. And I've actually
dude,
seen
my
one
friend,
made now, and I don't get it.
Right. I get you.
I just don't
I
get
get
it.
I don't know, love. I don't know. I
mean,
couldn't tell you, Grim. I really don't know.
It's funny, but it's not exactly. You put butter into a sausage maker, and then put it that into pig skin or whatever they use, right? And then fry them.
Yeah.
Well, all you're doing is just melting the butter inside. But the best of it is you're getting butter. What?
Yeah.
Never
Right.
mind.
I get what you're saying. I get it, dude.
I'd like to drop a sarcastic comment about it, but I just can't. For a change. I wouldn't say that it stumped me, but it's like, the point of what? High cholesterol.
Yeah,
Never mind. Hey,
it's
Too tall.
crazy.
too tall. Go and have your own live on it. I might join you. You can educate me.
Yeah,
So you knew
my
what?
ghost is quiet as a church mouse.
Yeah, it's probably muted up again. You know, well, he is.
Yeah,
actually.
he is. He is. Yeah, he is.
On a slightly different note, well, it's related to this. You know, with all of the restrictions being placed on us these days on various platforms, which means that the company Google, which owns this platform, basically, if you don't agree with what they want you to put out, it's bye-bye channel, right? Ultimately.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Certainly is. Unfortunately, they're going to be restricting the swearing, which people do, even though a channel is for over 18s. Unless it's you've got an age restriction on it, which means you've got to surrender your information, your true information, to Google.
What?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
hell?
They're going to. One of the things they're doing, that they're looking at doing, is taking out the meant for 18 plus, because anyone can actually go in and watch it, even though it is for 18 plus. Right? They're going to remove that and put in age restriction, which means that the viewers have to demonstrate, say who they are, so that Google can get more information about the people who use the service. So you've got to surrender your information. So if you know, it's like, you know, well, you've got to show us your birth certificate. You've got to show us your proof of ID and how old you are. That's what Google's going to be doing.
Wow.
And I don't want part of that. Any part of it. I don't want any part of Google. If that's the way they do, I was. So what did I do? Me being me, I set up my own streaming service for people to use.
Oh, did you, love?
So that means that people can have lives, they can stream to their own website and other websites, and it can go across no matter, 50, 100 websites. So everybody gets to see it. So it's all about caring and sharing. But if there's no terms of service, right, other than what is lawful, right, and there's a difference between lawful and legal, right? Then, or I would say, let's use it. Let's do it. Let's have our own alternative run by the people who use it. That's how I see it. You know.
Well, see, if that's the way things are gonna be, people are gonna end up leaving YouTube. They're gonna say bye-bye.
Well, I personally think that is the way that they're going. Facebook's the same. TikTok's the same. In fact, every single social media platform, as it stands at the moment, that's owned by a corporation, or a multimillionaire, right?
Yeah.
Has their own terms of service.
Yeah, because like for me, I just, I mean, I'm not making any money off YouTube. I'm not doing any of that. So
but Google's making money out of you. Because they're showing adverts. So so you may do a live, okay? So they're not going to interfere with your live except at the beginning and the end. However, if you leave that up on your channel, right, they will have adverts in between and break it up, right? They're making the money from the ad revenue, but you're not monetized, so you're not going to get anything. I mean, if you were monetized, you're still not going to get what's deserved, because Google keep back 60% or whatever it is that they keep back from
Mhm.
the ad revenue. They dictate to you how much you get. You know?
Yep.
So this is the reason why, if anyone is to make money, it should be the creator and they should keep all of that money. That's my argument. That is their choice.
Yeah,
So-
I had no
so-
intentions of ever being monetized. No.
Yeah. So for someone like you and me who isn't interested in that, you need a free platform that you don't make any money on, right?
Yep.
Or you need to have access to a platform which might cost you money, right? But then again, it
Mhm.
might not. It depends on the platform. You know, I can introduce monetization on the platform I'm using for people who want to do it. That's down to them. They're the creator, not me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm never going to charge anyone anything. If they want something that I can produce, I'll charge them for that. I think that's fair, right? Because it's a service.
Yeah.
But information and access to it, I'm not going to charge anyone for it. You know, they want to see
Right.
it, it's there. Why I built a different website so I can do this as part and parcel of a network of people. You know, because I don't agree with what Google's saying and what X is saying, stroke Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They're the main ones, aren't they, that I can think of, right? And then you've got terms of service on Rumble as well. Has anybody actually read those terms of service? Where it
I don't have.
states,
Yeah,
No,
I
and-
don't do Rumble.
I'm talking in general terms regarding terms of service. Does anybody actually read them? And if you do read them, do you actually
I don't think they
understand it?
do.
No, it's a click button. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Because you want that service, you want that platform. You know?
Yeah.
You want to produce a crochet club, for argument's sake, teach people how to crochet. In order to do that, you need to go to you need to have access to a social media platform. So you click,
Yep.
yeah, I agree. And then what they do is every so often they give you notifications to say that changing their terms of service. You know,
Mhm.
thanks for telling me. But so what you're saying is, if I don't agree with it, I terminate my agreement with you and stop it. You know,
Mhm.
YouTube and all these others is a tool. Yes, if you want to use them, that's fine. If you want to agree with their terms of service, yeah, that's fine. Okay, they rip you off, you accept, that's fine. But start on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, right?
Yeah.
Then go to your own platform and bring everybody over to it. Get people used to you using your own platform or a platform that you're part and parcel of. That way, at least you can tell the truth without fear of being taken away.
Yeah.
Having your channel taken down. Because can you imagine a crocheting demonstration where someone's teaching how to crochet and they're teaching in a different way to somebody else? So then they turn around and they put a complaint into YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that person has said this about crocheting. We don't do, that's not the correct way of doing it. I'm putting a complaint in, and before you know it, you're being investigated for crocheting. Okay,
Oh,
that's an extreme example, but you know, you
Yeah,
have
it's
jealousy
messed up.
wherever you go.
Yeah.
Right. And that is the problem, is the jealousy.
Yeah.
Which can lead people into serious trouble with law enforcement, stormtroopers, because people will make accusations without foundation. Happens all the
I
time,
know.
you know.
It does. It does.
And you know my stance. You know my stance on
Oh yeah.
people like that. the trolls.
I mean, you and I have been friends for quite a while. I mean, yeah, it's messed
You're
up. Dude.
gonna you're right. You're gonna have your trolls, right? I'm
Yep.
having my trolls, right?
Yep.
I don't give two craps about my trolls
Yep.
because what they're gonna do to me. You know, this is a virtual world. Come off it. I'll just start up somewhere else. At the end of the day, if I lost access, I'd have to change my name yet again. You know, in order to do it, but it's the same person behind it. But you got to start from scratch. It's an inconvenience. At the end of the day, nothing else.
That's right.
It's not going to stop what I'm saying. It's not going to stop the message I'm trying to put out. You know, put your petty differences behind and join as one. If you want independence, that's the only way you're going to do it. You are an independent collective. And when I say that, you're a collective of people that have, and each person has their own identity.
Yep.
And they are responsible for that, nobody else.
Yep.
Yeah. But getting back to the subject, you know me, I could go off on the tangent so easily.
I know, sweet. I know.
I still think Rob's taking the mickey here. Solar panels and here's a good one from Dangerous Company. Solar panels and natural gas, they sometimes give you good tax relief for a few years to start it. Yeah, they do. I've got solar panels. I didn't put them in. They're up on the roof. And can I say that it reduces the electric bill? Not really.
Hey, Dangerous, how you doing, brother?
It costs a fortune to install solar panels.
Well, oh yeah. One of the things that I forgot to mention earlier, to replace a electric vehicle's battery, you're talking minimum of 13 grand.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You might as well get another vehicle.
Yeah, and if you're owning it, that's 13 grand out of your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And most companies make you have to pay at least half of that.
It's usually
Or
done on
they
a
make
credit
you pay for the
agreement.
whole thing.
Yeah, you might get it on a credit agreement if you've got a good credit status, but that just means that your outgoings on a monthly basis is going to be increased. And the finance company will make money out of you because of interest. You know,
Yeah.
they might say interest free. We'll offer you interest free for 12 months, but you're taking out a 3-year loan. You're repaying it over 3 years. The interest that you didn't pay, oh, hang on, we're going to put that on the final 2 years.
Oh yeah.
So it's not interest free unless you pay it off within the first 12 months.
Well, I don't understand. You know, like I said, it's just, I'm hoping that with me doing this, people start to think for themselves, start looking into things themselves, start using their own brain, which their creator gave them. You know, I mean, we're created to think for ourselves. The government and social media is trying to get us to think otherwise. You know, and it's like, dude, come on, really?
Yep. It's a lot of relics at the end of the day. Dangerous Company. I read out what you said, but I didn't say hello. My apologies for that. Good morning from over here in the good old UK, allegedly. It's good anyway. Bloody old. I always say, no matter who you vote for, the government still gets in. You know, unfortunately. What's that dangerous company? What they call flex fuel? Oh, right, okay. I've never heard of it being called that. So I guess you could run a vehicle on, say, a pig fat or whatever. Yeah. Here's one for you. Did you know that farmers can now buy an electric tractor to plough the fields that they may own or the land? Can you imagine that tractor running out of power while it's in the middle of one of the fields?
Yeah. I get it.
None of it makes sense to me. You know,
I know, right? Yeah.
I don't get it. I can see too many flaws.
Now, one of the funny thing is that cars can run off of moonshine. It is far cleaner, better than any of the fuel that we've got.
But it's illegal, sir.
It's been proven.
Yeah, but isn't it illegal?
Exactly.
And do you know why it's illegal?
Because the government doesn't make its money off of it.
That's it. That's the one.
That's the only reason why it's illegal for. But if you really look into it, the government makes money off of it because you're making money off the corn. They're making money off of the copper. They're making money off of everything that you're buying to get all of that stuff there.
Yeah, but they're still not making the tax on tax on tax. You know,
they're getting the taxes on the fuel to transport it. They're getting taxed or money off of you hand over fist at every turn. So they're getting their money. They just want the finished product, which is more. Hey, Ronald, how you doing, brother? They want that final product because they can get more taxes for that finished product.
Yep. I've got a question for you because I don't understand this process. So, Dragon, you can help me out with this. If you buy a vehicle, right, you have to register that vehicle, or you have to have it registered. Okay. So here in the UK, the vehicle is registered for you. You pay £150 or whatever it is when you buy the vehicle, right, for the registration.
Yeah.
Each year, you also pay a road fund. It's not road fund license. It's a vehicle excess vehicle license or whatever it is, right?
License and registration. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's slightly different for over in the States. So if I explain what it is over here, you can explain the differences. Okay. And I reckon there's quite a few. So each year you have to pay a road fund license fee, right? That money is charged by the government, and depending on what class your vehicle is, depends on how much you pay on a yearly basis. But every year you have to pay that to the government. Failure to do so, if you're caught, and will have your vehicle impounded and crushed. Okay. The idea of this is to get as many fuel vehicles off the road as possible. You know, diesel or petrol. You call it gas and diesel, right? So you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I do.
Now, if a vehicle is 10 years old, right, and it's either on petrol or diesel, the government say that regardless of how well tuned you keep that vehicle, it is going to produce more CO2s than a vehicle which is younger. However, when they first introduced electric vehicles, there was no yearly tax put on it. Now they've introduced it, even though there's no emissions. Right? And hybrid vehicles, whether plug-in or self-generated, right? There is a tax on there which is probably the lowest, or second to lowest, should say. And then you've got your fossil fuels. Okay. Now it can cost up to £400 per year for a personal vehicle that you give to the government, that they say thank you very much, and they don't even put it back into the road network.
Yeah.
Right? Because they changed the law, they changed what it was called, because people would say, well, I'm not paying the road fund license because you don't actually do anything with the roads. You don't repair them, you don't do this, you don't do that. And they changed the rules so that the councils had to look after the local roads. And that's how they did it. They became responsible, so it was decentralized, so the government didn't have to do anything. They just said, thank you for your £400 this year. We look forward to another whatever it is next year, because guess what? We're going to put the prices up. Right? So over in the States, my understanding is that you pay a registration fee to the government, right? Through the Department of Motoring, whatever it's called.
Motor vehicles, yeah.
Yeah. But what do you get in return? Nothing.
The only
I was
thing
just
that
about to
you
say that.
get after doing all that crap is a lube job, and it's not for your vehicle.
Or is that so
Damn
they
it,
can,
Ghost.
that's so they can stick it straight back up your ass, you know?
Yeah, you don't even get a kiss goodnight. You don't even get a pulling of the hair. You don't even get a freaking kick in the nuts.
You don't even get a cuddle at night. It's terrible. Terrible. But if you, my understanding is you may have a tag registration. We call it registration plate. I think you call them a tag plate, right? So if you go from one state to another, right, and you're more likely to be pulled by the stormtroopers because your tag is registered in another state. They can't prove one way or another. So they then try and say, you have to register that vehicle in this state because we want some money off you.
Yep. Here in the States, most states, they have a deal. Once you move into a different state, you have at least 30 days to register your car or your vehicle with that state. You have to get their plates.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you get fined and possible car impounded.
Right. So how's this for a scenario? For argument's sake, I'm living in Massachusetts, right? And I just paid for the 12 months or whatever it is, length of time for the tags to Massachusetts state. Within that time period, I moved to Nevada, say, right? I don't get a refund from Massachusetts because that's for a certain time period, but then I've got to re-register the vehicle within 30 days in Nevada for another period of time, which could be shorter or longer, depending on what the rules are in that area. Because I don't know how long the registration, because all I've heard is expired plates. So I don't know whether it's for 12 months, 6 months, 2 years, or what. I've no idea. But it's a money-making machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. But if you want to drive your vehicle on the road, that's what you got to do. So
Yeah, I think it's the same way. I think it's the same way for a motorcycle too.
Yep.
Ain't it, honey?
Yep.
well, yeah, because it's a motorized vehicle over 1,000 cc. But electric vehicles slightly different. You know, electric scooters or bikes. There's a good one. The latest thing is electric bikes. If they're under a certain power ratio, I think it's 800 in most 800 watts. I think it is, or something like that. They're still classed as a bicycle. Therefore, you don't pay tax on it. You pay registration fee because you don't need a tag. You know, your coppers still stop you and ask you for your details. But how much does it cost to buy that bike? It's a lot more than just an ordinary push bike that doesn't have it. And it's, to me, I think we're becoming too reliant and becoming lazy when you can't pedal on a push bike. A push bike is not meant to go fast, you know. Yeah, I just don't get it. I've got to admit, none of it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But there again, I'm just a simpleton. I think the government, well, sorry, I know the governments are corrupt. The system is corrupt because it's all designed around making money.
Now, there is a way around that law of where you have to, you know, like if you move from Massachusetts to Nevada, if you have a physical address, whether it be like a mailbox or you're using a family member's or friend's address in Massachusetts and you move over to Nevada, you have dual citizenship. You don't have to register your vehicle in that new state.
I think it's funny you talk about dual citizenship when you're actually a US citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's confusing.
I
Even
know, it's
more
ironic.
confusing.
It's one of those loopholes, though, that I think is funny as fuck because in order for you to bypass the government's law, you have to sit there and go against their moronic views.
Yeah, but don't you still have to pay the registration tax in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
which could be cheaper than it is in Nevada? Yeah, right. That makes sense. I mean, did you know that there was a design for a vehicle to run off water?
Well,
Right, just which is, you know, you could just literally fill the car up with tap water, and that was bought out many years ago. The patent was bought out by one of the big car manufacturers to stop vehicles being produced that just ran off water. So again, you know, you pay tax on water or you pay charges on water, I should say. You know, that would make drinking water really expensive, to say the least. And you wouldn't have all these big oil companies making money. I mean, that's the other issue I've got with this, to be honest, is if you replace all vehicles with electric vehicles, what happens to the oil companies? Where does that fuel that they're pumping out of the earth go to? Does that go to the companies that are producing or at getting the lithium from the ground, and do they get charged more because they're getting it from Texaco, for argument's sake?
Mhm.
You know, the logic doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we have, well, probably three. You've got fuel excess duty, but you pay at the pump because that inflates the price, right, per litre or per gallon, right?
Mhm.
And then you've got VAT on top of that. So you might pay 700% of excess fuel tax, for argument's sake, which inflates the price from the actual price of the fuel, right? Then on top of that, you pay a third of 20% because you're buying a product. Government wins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For lube, so they can shove it further up. I totally agree with Dangerous Company. The truth is our government, well, you can say governments, don't care about us, right? And never will. A government is a corporation. Corporations have shareholders, they have executives, they have directors, and they are answerable to another company which owns their company. If you think about it, follow the money, do your own research. That way, no one can accuse you of misinformation. Don't take what I say as being factual, because I can't say for definite that everything I say is factual. That's why I always say allegedly. Allegedly, I feel as if
I
I'm
know
being...
you do.
Yeah, constantly, don't I?
Oh, I'm always
Yes, you do.
I'm always stating the fact.
I have to try and cover my
I'm
arse so I don't get shafted.
honestly 100% factual, guaranteed to be an asshole every day, all day long.
Well, you, well, everyone. Listen. Your opinion is like everybody else, I suppose, because we've all got one. Like we've all got a-holes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The only
Well,
difference is the trolls, when they come up, when they come across, and they meet me, they tend to get a third of three.
Or see, that's one reason why I stated, before, is I'm hoping through this that I wake people up so they can start using their mind and looking into this, whether they're doing the right thing or not.
Yep.
You
I
know,
think raising awareness is very important.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
While we're allowed to.
yeah. I'm not saying this is absolute this. I'm saying, hey, wake up, do your research, use your mind, bring awareness to this, so that way you can make up your own mind whether you're doing it the right way or if there's things that you need to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's things that you need to change, then great. Work together. Grab some people together. Let's make those changes. Let's do what needs to be done as a collective instead of going at it.
I love
I'm
you, brother.
right. You have to do what I say, or else, the list is limited.
Don't take this the wrong way. I do love you, right? And it's because your language that I'm talking, you're talking about people networking, you're talking about collaboration, you're talking about finding out the truth and promoting the truth. So
Oh,
more
yeah.
people look at it. That's what you're basically saying. And for that, I applaud you. You know. Oh, and by the way, you're sounding.
That's exactly what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Ghost, you're sounding well. I hope you are, because I know you went through a rough patch.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a lot better. I had severe heart issues for a while. I had some bad strokes just not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But being true to myself, it don't stay down very long unless I'm having fun.
I wish you had seen that one live. Ghost and I had been up all night. He was at a friend's birthday party, and I was watching two other channels, and the fuckery that went on. Oh my god, Grim, you would have been laughing your ass off too. People showing their ass. Trust me. The last live Ghost and I did together, short live. Yeah. Oh my god.
There was a guy over here who didn't realize that he didn't have any trousers on because he was Browns and List pissed. And he demonstrated why you need to cover up your nether regions, especially when you bend over.
Oh my god.
That went out live, you know, and it was. I don't think it was deliberate. I think it was a genuine mistake because of the state he was in. But yeah, I mean, that was funny. But you know what? For something like that, you can lose your channel.
Yeah.
You know, and this is why, you know, Ghost has got to send out individual invites to the panel, because he needs
I do the same.
He needs to be assured. You with me? I've started to do that, but if I'm live over on the website, I don't need to worry about that. You know, I asked these idiots, well, if you're going to do that, will you let us know in advance so I can clip it? And the only reason why I want to clip it is I want to sell it onto a porn site. Yeah, I'll make a bit of money out of it, and if it's good, the more money I get.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, they can't do anything if I'm on my own service, can they? You know, what are they going to do? You know, I would prefer that they didn't, but at least, you know, if I'm on a service provider where there's no T's and C's, at least we could sort that out. You know what I mean? But again, to me, that wouldn't be lawful, that person.
Right.
You know, I'm certainly immoral. But who am I to say what's moral and immoral? I only have my own viewpoints on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Keep an open mind. Better sausage is a real thing.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? We're trying to have a serious conversation, and it's very difficult with me, I know, but
yeah.
Because I do go off topic and I do make.
That's all right. It's all good. I'm sure Ghost understands.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then I see something like that, and I'm thinking, the real thing, and then I think of Red Can drink, which had cocaine in it originally, and I just think of holidays have been. They're not coming.
Yeah.
Can't with you.
Do you know what?
What?
Made a chuckle. My day is complete.
Yeah, right.
Not many people do
it. Oh yeah, like that one day when you sent me a link and I come up on panel and then it's like, oh no, I am not Canadian. No.
Oh, I did apologize.
I know, I wasn't mad at you. No.
It went a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know, I don't care where you're from, even if you're from Canada. It's neither here nor there to me.
Well, yeah, but like, no, no. And then Ghost seen it and he knew I was up there, and I'm just going, oh shit. I'm just
Yeah,
like, no,
I
no,
did have
no.
I
I'm
did have a
not
word
playing
with the
this petty
culprit.
game today. No, no, no.
Yeah, I did have a conversation with the culprit afterwards,
Oh, I'm sure you did.
and look, even I won't go that far. But my mistake, I allowed it to. But it was funny.
Hey, always, how you doing, brother?
Hey, always.
Always good to meet you.
And
It's not my first time here. It's just that I don't always get.
hang on, I'll go
notifications.
drop your link in chat so always can go sub up to you. Hold on. But like the whole idea of the shit, I know it was like I know at first it was a joke, and I get that, Reaper, but it went way too far, and then I was getting annoyed, and I'm going, no, 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 I ain't playing this game today. Screw that. Bye. No.
You rage quit, but it was funny.
No, 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 it wasn't like that. It was just I was getting annoyed with the other person that was up on your panel. I was getting
Annoyed?
pissed. Yes, I
but
was annoyed.
So you rage quit. But
There's a lot of reasons you just don't.
yeah, no, well, you know me, I can't keep a straight face half the time.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I know you're not Canadian. You're miles away from it. I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
About two states away at least?
Farther than that.
Yeah.
You know, Canada is basically close to Montana.
Do you know what? I always thought Montana was in, but then I realized I'm getting Montreal and Montana mixed up.
Oh shit. All right.
Well, mind you, the United States is crap. I mean, I know my way around Great Britain. That's about it. Because I followed the signposts or the sat nav.
Well, I did you a favor. I dropped your link. So
thanks very much. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I'm not one for self-advertising.
Always. He's funny. He's hilarious.
Allegedly.
Trust me.
Imagine what I could get up to where there's no terms of service. Everybody needs to be paranoid. Best friends, no friends, I don't care. It's one of them. But friends take it in jest. You with me? They see the funny side. They know I'm not making it personal. I don't make anything personal.
I know that.
Or I try not to.
I know.
I have done. Thanks always. If somebody attacks people, and I mean attacks, makes it personal, etc., or comes out with things like flat earth or common law, I've got an alternative viewpoint to them. And I will turn what they're saying into a sarcastic joke at times. I can make it personal. And it's something which I've learned over the years. I have to be careful how I say things at times.
I know.
Because I can upset snowflakes without even realizing it. And other people start a joke and it ends up becoming monotonous, shall we say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I've learned my lesson. Hold my hand up. I'm not going to let that happen again. But then again, I might, because it was fucking funny. Excuse my French. Oh, hey, under terms of service, I can't say that. Oh, damn. Apologies,
But
folks,
see,
didn't mean to swear.
I think we should have a right of freedom of speech. I think we should be allowed to say whatever the heck we want to.
That's what I've got. I go onto the website. I can do that on the website. I can't do that anywhere else, to be honest. And sharing videos, for argument's sake, from other people. Have you realised how upset they can get? Even though you're promoting their channel. You might be ripping into them, but you know, you're still sharing the love.
Right.
You know? You're still promoting them. And then they put a complaint into YouTube. You know, because they took offense.
Yeah, but you should know by now, I really don't take offense. I truly don't. I say it like it is, but still.
That I can only say that's allegedly because I've seen another side from a joking perspective. You still rage quit.
Oh, really? They're loved.
You still rage quit. You took offense. You really did.
Yeah, but
I do hope you've spoken to. I do hope you've spoken to the other person since and sorted it out.
No.
Oh, you need to.
No, I don't.
Only from a well, what are you going to do?
I have to explain it to you later. Why?
Oh, that's fine. That's not a problem. But what I was going to say was, right? You know my theory on life. Basically, I'll talk to anybody. You know, I don't take sides.
No.
Or try not to take sides. The only thing I have against anybody is when they claim that they've served in the military, they've got X, Y, and Z, you know, and I find out that they actually haven't.
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah,
that's very common.
Yeah, that's the bit which really gets to me because it really does undermine people who have served in the military.
Yeah.
And who, at one point, I dismissed that, you with me, that side of things because of my viewpoint on governments. But then I thought about it, and I thought about it because I talked to veterans, right, across different platforms, and I came to realise that they actually make sacrifices in order to do that.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, I've got to show them respect because they've made personal sacrifices. Maybe they've misunderstood or they've fallen into the indoctrination of the government stroke military, but they have done what they thought was right at the time. So I've got to respect. I do have utmost respect for them.
Yeah, see, I've got a brother that's in the military, so
well, you understand where I'm coming from, you know.
Yeah, I do.
And I feel, you know, if they get moved to an area where there's conflict, I have to respect that as well because they have no choice.
Right.
You know, and if hopefully they will come back in one piece. But there are times
I agree with that. Yeah.
when that's not going to happen. So that, again, it's their belief, and I'm all for the right of belief. You know, just because I don't believe what somebody else believes and I've got an alternative viewpoint doesn't mean to say I can't respect that person.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
It's just when, as I say, stolen offensive. And I do take offense to that, but you know, that's me.
Yeah.
Other people might find it acceptable. Okay, that's fine. Don't want to know you if that's the case. Because of the sacrifices that people make, and I think you don't understand it. But to claim you made those sacrifices when other people actually have, that's where that to me is not lawful. Because it's not illegal. Well, technically it's illegal, but no one ever gets taken to court. No one's ever charged with it. And then you make up, then there's other people who make outstanding claims. I've seen that as well, which I think is just as bad, especially when you've got no evidence to back it up. But still, that's the way it goes. And the coppers say
Very
that all the time.
true.
You know, the stormtroopers, they'll arrest you for anything and then try and find a law that you've broken because they want to arrest you.
Hmm.
People
Ghost
who
is
rely
quiet
on
as a
common
church
law.
mouse.
Yeah, he's muted again.
Mhm.
That's one thing which I do, you know, I've got to say, Ghost does allow his guests who run the show at times.
Yeah. He left us to our own devices and he's just listening.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, love.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Do you know what? I don't even remember where I heard that, but I keep doing it. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Ghost, are you there? Or are you just a figment of my imagination?
He might had to go get some coffee. I don't know.
That's a possibility.
No, sorry. I had to take my heart meds.
No, Ghost, I was just about to say I have some real life crap to sort out. So I'm going to have to drop off. Thank you for letting me up and giving my 2 pennies worth. And it's great meeting you again, Dragon, and talking to you.
It's always good to see you, Grim.
It's always a pleasure. It's never a chore. And I did get that the right way round, by the way.
Hey, you know you're always welcome here, brother. Anytime
Yes.
you want to.
Do you know what?
And you know you're always welcome in my chat when I go live. So
When I get the notifications, I will do. And if I'm awake, I'd love to. I'd love to come up and have a chat to you.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
Oh, no problem.
Hey,
probably-
hey, Grim,
Whether
I got
I
something.
take it serious or not, it's another thing entirely.
Hey, Grim, I just know something. All this time I've known you, I thought you're Mexican. Damn, I'm wrong. Fuck.
I
Really,
sneaked in through the border, didn't you know?
Oh, jeez.
I'm a Trump supporter. I've been imported from Mexico. Oh no, sorry. I was just about to say something that's gone. It'll come back to me. I'll probably have to find out. As I was saying, I'm going to have to do some real life crap. Unfortunately, I'd love to stay on, but if once I've finished, if you're still live, I'll jump back up. I've still got the link. But in the meantime, guys, keep in touch. Don't be strangers. You know, I'm on Discord. You
I know you are.
Well,
I know how to get a hold of
Yeah.
you.
I stirred a pot on Discord as well as on here.
You probably do.
yep.
And when I go into certain Discords, it's like, but you've been in such and such, and they go, and what's the problem?
Yep. Right. It's always a
I
pleasure seeing your brother, Grim. You know, it's
And
always
when my legs give in, I'll get a flaming wheelchair and bounce down the stairs. Right, I'm going. Take care, guys. Thanks again.
See you later, Grim.
Love to you all and respect.
Yeah, much love to you too.
all
Cheers
right.
now.
Talk at you
Bye.
later, brother.
See you, brother. See you, sister.
See you, love.
All right. One thing that we got a little distracted, but one thing that most people don't realize, I'm going to get back into this discussion real quick, but there is going to be a part 2 to this discussion tonight. Electric vehicles. One of the easiest things to hack Everybody's putting those things online. They have to be online. They have to have chargers, all this other shit. Those things are so easy to be hacked. It's not even funny. Like I said, do your homework. Get your headset on correct. Look into this shit, what you really want. Make your own mind what you want for yourself. Don't be a sheep. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, Joe Blow down the corner is getting a blue Tesla, so I'm getting a green Tesla. Don't do that. Look into what you want for you, not what others do. You're not a sheep.
Yeah, that's true.
All of this craze started. I mean, there's other companies throughout the years. Tesla and GM made their little electric vehicle, went bankrupt. There's other vehicles prior that went bankrupt. All of this shit skyrocketed in 2023, where it really went through the roof. And if y'all remember, there's one famous movie fighting over fuel that was based off in that same exact year. Mad Max. If you look at that film and look at what the electric vehicles are doing, everybody's fighting. Look at that concept and see if that wasn't a premonition. See, don't take just my word for it. Look it up. Take the time to sit there and look for yourselves what you really want to do. Look at what I just shown you guys tonight. Really look more into this battery shit. Are you willing to pay 13 grand for a new battery? For your expensive vibrator? Are you willing to go that far? Like I said, do your homework. Use what I said tonight as a catalyst for what you need. I am going to go more into detail on this because this needs to be brought up. More of this needs to be brought up. So that way, y'all can make up your mind on whether or not you are doing the right thing or whether things that you need to have help change. I've always been told if you're not part of the cure, you're part of the problem. I've always been part of that cure. L. And see, one thing that they don't tell you about your electric vehicles is your temperatures that it will tolerate are a whole lot less than one of those outside. One of those gas vehicles outside with the regular car battery can tolerate roughly negative 10, 20 degrees, negative 30 degrees. 122 to 130 degrees on a regular basis. That'd be fine. Your electric vehicles, not even a third of that. Five degrees below zero, it starts to get damaged at any given length of time. 100, again, damaged. Once those things get damaged, those things could sit there and explode. And they will do a lot of damage. Welcome back, Cedric. Ah, okay. Well, at least you're safe out of the weather. But like I said, you guys need to do y'all's homework. Don't just take what I said. Bring it to truth. Sit here, look into it, have a few friends get together, go out for coffee. Go to your favorite coffee shop. If you're going to Starbucks, then, well, yeah, you deserve that electric piece of crap car. Starbucks is the most disgusting, foulest things I've ever eaten, drank.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got sick off of Starbucks. But I'm serious. That's just dude. Every time I see some dude at Starbucks, they've got their little man buns, and they got their little he hives, and you know, a dude with a freaking man bun. All that is for a freaking steering wheel to sucking dick. It's like, hey, no, you're doing it wrong. Fuck you. It's like, no, that's just no. Uh uh Some things are just no, 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 no. But
Yeah, I get it.
like I said, I'm hoping that with what I say tonight, what I've shown y'all tonight, enlightens you, brings that path of awareness. Because I'm going to continue. If this gets taken down, so be it. I'll make another one. If that gets taken down, so be it. I'll make another one. Because y'all will see the truth. You will make your mind up. And if this does get taken down, that means that there's people that are scared of the truth. They don't want the truth to be told. I'm sorry, but that's what you're going to get. So I'd rather be hated for a lie or hated for the truth than liked for a lie. I've said this many times before, even tonight. I'm grateful for everybody that come in tonight. Oh, dude, oh, no, no. You just said, oh. I love Tim Hortons. That shit is the bomb. I love Tim Hortons. For me, I also love Dutch Brothers. That stuff is far better than any Starbucks crap. I would rather walk 1,000 miles to Dutch Brothers than next door to Starbucks. But anyway, like I said, I'm wanting to bring truth. I'm wanting to bring enlightenment. I'm wanting to bring awareness to what is really going on. You know, this impacts us all. Now with the electric bike, those things are just an insult. Those go well just like man buns, he hives, and yeah. No. But I'm hoping, like I said, this brings awareness. There will be a part two to this, maybe a part three, depending on how part two goes, depending on what gets covered. Because somebody's got to do it. And I'm not afraid to be controversial. I'm not afraid to say how it is the way it is. If my channel gets taken down, so be it. I'll make another one. I'll let y'all know. If that gets taken down, so be it. I'll make another one. I'm not scared. I don't live in fear. I don't understand that concept. I'm thankful for everybody that comes in to my channel, puts their 2 cents in. I'm very grateful for all you subs out here. I'm thankful for every one of you knuckleheads. Our paths may not always cross clean, but at the end of the day, I'm always here for you. Oh, yeah, yeah. That is so true. That is so true right there. Yeah, see, the government's wanting us to focus one direction. They're trying to keep our focus one direction. Well, in reality, we should be looking over here, not just over here. Because, see, here, they're playing sleight of hands. Like I've been saying for many years. When I walk into their office, I make them bitches nervous. They know exactly who I am. I've been fighting them bitches for over 40 years. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a demon rat. I'm an American. I vote American. I'm American first. That right there. And anyone that calls my country home, I'm First Nation. I'm proud of my country, but I'm not proud of the government that runs it. More of us need to stand up and get things right with the government. Because, see, the Bill of Rights, Constitution was built to limit the power of the government, not the people. Keyword, to limit the power of the government. Government has more control over our lives than we care to count. We need to stand up, take note. But with that being said, y'all, I love y'all. I'm going to end this real quick. Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm making a stand as well. And I know there are several others that are making a stand with me. But as I always end my lives, is no matter what branch of service you're in, whether it be Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guards, Army, hoorah! You got our love and our support 100%. Don't matter what cut you've got on, whether it be a diamond cut, 1%, 2%, one piece patch, 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece, go piece. Two-wheel, three-wheel, don't matter to me. Just as long as you're out there riding, getting the therapy that you need. We love y'all. We're grateful for you being here. You got our salute. You got our support 100%. I'm grateful for y'all being here. Be kind to one another. Lift one another up. Start helping one another. Stop being one-sided. Stop being a fucking sheep sitting there saying, oh, social media says this. You got to follow what they say. Fuck you. Help one another. Don't be afraid to help someone out. Don't be afraid to make someone laugh. To encourage one another. Stop being a bitter twit. Stop being a fucking douchebag, egotistical, knuckle dragging, banshee ass, twat waffle. Stop being filled with hate. Someone disagrees with you? Great. Move on. Not everybody's going to agree with you, just the same as you're not going to agree with everybody else. You move on. You grow. You learn. That's part of being human. We love y'all. Take care. Moshta. Nisha.